The human fleet had never seen anything like it. A massive vessel floated silently near the orbit of Jupiter, a shimmering structure of unknown material, pulsating with colors that seemed alive. Its surface reflected the light of the distant sun in strange patterns, and the ship's sheer size made even the largest human cruisers look like toys. Captain Mira Han stood on the bridge of the reconnaissance ship Aurora, her eyes fixed on the alien giant. Her crew was tense but curious, each member feeling the same mix of fear and fascination. "No signs of movement yet," she said. "Scan the energy readings. I want to know if it's active." Lieutenant Rao tapped at the console. "Captain, the readings are unusual. This is not like anything we've ever detected. The energy signature is consistent, yet it seems intelligent." "Intelligent?" Mira raised an eyebrow. "Explain." "Mira? Mira? Mira?" Rao hesitated, choosing words carefully. "The ship's power pulses are too regular to be natural. They adjust themselves, like they're responding to our scans. It's almost as if the ship is aware of us." A murmur ran through the crew. Mira took a deep breath. "Prepare the boarding team. I want a small group to enter. And keep in mind, we have no idea what we're dealing with. Minimal interaction, until we understand their intentions." The boarding party suited up. Dr. Elias Kwan, the ship's chief scientist, adjusted his helmet, excitement shining through his usually calm demeanor. "Captain, this is incredible. The material of that vessel. It's not any metal or alloy we know. It's alive, or at least semi-living. If we can study it safely." Mira gave him a firm look. "We are studying it safely. That's the plan. Remember, curiosity is fine, but we don't touch anything that looks dangerous." The airlock hissed open, and the team floated toward the alien ship. Unlike any human vessel, the exterior of the ship seemed almost organic. Tendrils of some bioluminescent material shifted gently as if sensing the newcomers. There was no door in the human sense. Instead, a large opening appeared, shimmering like liquid. A strange but unmistakable signal came through their communicators, translated instantly by the universal translator. "Please come inside, human." The voice was calm, regal, and yet commanding. Mira's heart skipped a beat. That's not a recording," she whispered. "It's alive. It's speaking to us." "Captain," Dr. Elias said, awe in his voice. "This is unprecedented. It's an invitation." Mira nodded. "Then we accept it, carefully." Inside, the ship was a world of light and motion. The walls pulsed gently with colors that seemed to shift with their moods. The corridors were wide, with surfaces that looked more like living tissue than metal. As they floated deeper, the team felt a subtle pressure on their minds, a gentle push, as if the ship itself was aware of their presence. At the heart of the vessel, they found her the alien queen. She was immense, her form both beautiful and alien. Tentacle-like appendages radiated from her core, each ending in patterns that glowed softly. Her eyes, if they could be called eyes, were enormous and filled with a strange intelligence. The Queen's voice echoed in their minds as well as through the translator. "Welcome, humans. You have answered my call." The team froze. Elias whispered, "She's communicating directly, mentally." Mira stepped forward, steadying herself. "We are explorers. We come in peace." The Queen's form shimmered, and she responded with a pulse of light that made their vision blur momentarily. "Peace is known to you. Yes. But danger surrounds me. I require your help." Dr. Elias stepped closer. "What kind of help? Are you under attack?" The Queen's appendages moved slowly, almost elegantly. "Not now. Soon, perhaps. My systems fail, and I cannot repair myself. You, humans, are capable of things I cannot. Your minds, your creativity. I sense it." Mira exchanged a glance with Elias. "She's asking for our assistance. We don't even know if it's safe. There is risk, But I am dying. And my knowledge, my civilization, will be lost without your aid. Elias's eyes widened. Knowledge of an alien civilization. This is beyond anything we've imagined. Mira nodded. We'll help. But we need to understand what you need us to do first. The Queen emitted another pulse of light, and suddenly, the room shifted. Walls retracted and expanded like breathing, revealing a central chamber filled with a floating lattice of glowing patterns. Data streams appeared in the air, forming shapes and symbols the humans could barely comprehend. Elias stared in wonder. It's an organic database. The information of her species, stored in her ship itself. And she wants us to integrate with it? Yes. Come inside my mind. Learn, assist, repair. Only then will my legacy survive. Mira swallowed hard. Inside your mind? You mean, yes, through mental connection. Only then can your human ingenuity work with my systems. Oh, the words made them uneasy. Connecting minds with an alien intelligence was uncharted territory. One misstep could be catastrophic, but the crew also knew the value of such an opportunity. This was not just first contact. It was a chance to advance human knowledge in ways that could change the future. Elias, Mira said, you're the scientist. You'll lead the integration. The rest of us will support you. Why? Resonant. The rest of us will support you. Elias nodded, swallowing his nerves. I'll try. But I need guidance from the Queen. I have to understand her systems first. The Queen's presence seemed to fill the room. You will understand. Do not fear. Humans, you are stronger than you believe. As Elias began to study the glowing patterns, he realized the Queen's technology was not mechanical. It was alive. Data flowed like water, and concepts were not stored in text or numbers, but as ideas, living, changing, evolving. Human logic alone could not comprehend it fully, but the combination of human intuition and the Queen's telepathic guidance might work. Hours passed as Elias and the team navigated the alien systems. Every pulse, every light pattern, contained meaning. Slowly, they began to understand the Queen's language of thought. Human minds worked differently, more creatively than purely logical beings, and the Queen's systems responded. Mira watched as Elias's eyes lit up with excitement. Captain, he said, I think it's working. I can see a path to repairing her ship. And I can communicate directly with her now, without the translator. The Queen's voice echoed in his mind. You are learning quickly. Humans, you are remarkable. Together, we may succeed where I alone would fail. Mira smiled, feeling a mixture of pride and relief. We've only just begun. But we will help you. As the humans worked, they noticed that the ship seemed almost alive in response to them. Corridors shifted, lights pulsed, and soft vibrations moved through the floor beneath their feet. It was as if the ship itself was welcoming them, guiding them deeper into its heart. Outside, the vastness of space remained silent. Jupiter's storms raged below, distant and indifferent. But inside the alien vessel, a new partnership was forming, one between humans and a being older and wiser than anything they had ever encountered. And somewhere deep within the Queen, a sense of hope began to grow. Perhaps, for the first time in millennia, her civilization's legacy would survive not through her alone, but with the courage, creativity, and compassion of humanity. The words echoed once more in their minds, soft but firm. Please come inside, human. The future depends on you. And for the first time, humans truly felt their place among the stars, not as mere explorers, but as partners in something far greater. The deeper the humans moved into the alien ship, the more alive it felt. The walls seemed to breathe, expanding and contracting gently, while soft lights flowed along surfaces like rivers of energy. Every step the crew took, the ship reacted. Floors shifted slightly to guide them, and passages opened where none existed moments before. Captain Mira Han found herself marveling at the intelligence embedded in the ship itself. This place, it's not just a vessel, she whispered to Dr. Elias Kwan. It's alive. Not biologically, but mentally. Elias nodded, his eyes wide behind his visor. I've never seen anything like it. The Queen's consciousness isn't just controlling the ship. She is the ship. And she's reaching out to us, inviting us to think with her, to help her heal. Mira's communicator buzzed. Lieutenant Rao's voice came through, tense but excited. Captain, there's something else. The energy flows, whatever they are, they're responding to our thoughts. Every time I think about a path to the next chamber, the ship seems to guide me there. Keep calm, Lieutenant, Mira said. That means it's listening. Not to trick us, but to assist us. They reached a large central chamber, a vast open space filled with floating lattices of glowing light. Patterns rotated and shifted as if alive. Elias floated forward, carefully reaching out to touch one of the glowing strands. The moment his fingers brushed it, images and symbols flooded his mind, strange geometries, alien equations, and concepts he couldn't yet understand. The Queen's presence filled the chamber. You are touching my memory, human. Not all will make sense to you. That is natural. But your mind will find patterns. Together, we will heal what is broken. Elias swallowed, trying to steady his thoughts. Captain, it's more than just data. It's alive. Ideas flow here like rivers. And I think it wants to connect with our creativity, our human thinking. Mira studied him. So it's like a partnership? We think, and it responds? Yes, but do not be afraid. Fear will block your mind. Trust your instincts, human. The Queen's words were not loud, but they resonated directly in their thoughts. Mira could feel it subtly, a gentle pressure, encouraging her to stay calm, to focus. It was strange, unnerving, but also comforting. Elias floated deeper into the lattice, observing how patterns shifted with his thoughts. Slowly, he began forming connections between the alien data streams and his own logic. He discovered that the ship's systems reacted to creativity, not just knowledge. Ideas, intuition, even imagination mattered. Pure calculation was only a part of the solution. You are learning quickly, the Queen's voice said in his mind. Humans, your kind can solve problems differently. That is why I reached for you. Mira's eyes narrowed. Reaching for us. You mean, mentally? Yes. You may enter my consciousness. A small part. Only a fraction. But even that fraction can help restore me. Elias glanced at Mira. She's offering us a chance to literally connect our minds with hers. It's unprecedented. Dangerous, maybe, but also the only way forward. Mira took a deep breath. Do it, carefully. We don't know how much risk there is, but if we refuse, she may die. And all her civilization's knowledge will be lost. Elias nodded, focusing. The glowing lattice seemed to pulse in response to his decision. He reached out again, this time letting his mind merge just slightly with the alien consciousness. Instantly, the world around him shifted. He could see the Queen's memories, images of distant worlds, strange cities floating in clouds, beings of light and energy. He felt her sadness, centuries of loneliness, and the weight of her civilization's demise. At first, it was overwhelming. But then he felt a clarity he had never known. Ideas and patterns flowed together, human and alien, forming solutions he could never have conceived alone. Captain, Elias's voice was calm but excited. I can understand the ship's systems now. The Queen isn't just asking for help. She's teaching us how to think with her. And the solutions, they're incredible. We can repair parts of the ship, stabilize her systems, even enhance them. Mira floated closer, watching Elias's hands move over the holographic patterns. So, your human mind is complementing hers? Yes. The Queen's voice resonated in their thoughts. Together, we are stronger. Alone, either of us is limited. With humans, my legacy may survive. As they worked, the ship seemed to guide them. Floors shifted, lights pulsed, and new passages opened to reveal tools and energy sources embedded in the vessel itself. The humans learned quickly to think not just in steps or logic, but in patterns, feelings, and concepts. It was a strange collaboration, but it worked. Lieutenant Rao floated beside Mira, watching the energy flows. It's incredible. It's like the ship is alive, but not in a biological sense. And the Queen, she's teaching us how to think like her. Like she's stretching our minds to fit hers. Mira nodded. It's more than that. She's giving us a chance to see what humanity could be if we combined courage, creativity, and intellect. This isn't just science, it's evolution. Hours passed as they repaired small but critical systems. The Queen guided them, revealing vulnerabilities in the ship, areas that were failing, and parts that could be enhanced. Elias felt himself growing stronger mentally, the integration expanding his perception. He could anticipate minor errors in the ship's systems before they occurred. Like the Queen's thoughts flowed into his mind. Suddenly, alarms echoed faintly through the chamber. Lights dimmed as the ship's sensors detected movement outside. Mira's heart tightened. "What is it?" she asked. "A threat approaches," the Queen said softly, almost mournfully. "I cannot see them clearly. They are far, yet fast. We must continue our work, or all may be lost." Mira exchanged a glance with Elias. "Threats from space? Aliens? Yes. Others seek what remains of my people. I cannot fight them alone. You, humans, are my hope." Elias swallowed, determination settling over him. "Then, we prepare. While we repair, we also defend. We have the Queen's guidance, and that gives us an edge." Mira took a deep breath. "This is bigger than any mission we've ever undertaken. We're not just explorers anymore. We're partners in saving a civilization." The Queen pulsed brightly, as if acknowledging Mira's words. "Yes. Trust yourselves. Your species has potential I have never seen. Together, we may survive." As the humans continued their work, they discovered new abilities emerging from the integration. They could sense the flow of energy through the ship, anticipate shifts in the corridors, and even communicate without speaking. It was subtle, but they were learning to think in a new way, blending human intuition with alien logic. Mira smiled at the thought. Humanity had always relied on curiosity, creativity, and courage. Here, in the heart of an alien vessel, those traits were proving themselves again. They were more than observers, they were contributors to something far greater than themselves. By the end of the day, small successes had begun to show. Systems that had been failing for centuries were stabilizing. Lights that had flickered dimly now glowed steadily, and the lattice of the central chamber pulsed rhythmically, like a heartbeat. Elias floated, exhausted but exhilarated. "Captain," he said, "we're making real progress. The Queen is responding to us. And I think she trusts us now." "No," Mira nodded, feeling a deep sense of accomplishment. "We're only at the beginning, but if we can continue, we may not only save her civilization, but also discover what humans are truly capable of in the universe." "Kritingwan," the Queen's voice echoed once more in their minds. "You came inside, human. You are learning. And through learning, you will teach yourselves. Your courage and ingenuity, they are extraordinary. Together, we will endure." For the first time, Mira felt something profound. Humans were not just passengers in the universe. They were creators, problem solvers, and survivors. In the heart of an alien vessel, Among lights, energy, and thoughts that were not their own, humans had begun to see their true potential, and somewhere deep within the Queen, hope flickered. Perhaps, after countless millennia of solitude, her legacy would survive through the courage, intelligence, and imagination of humans. The mission was only beginning. But already, humanity had begun to rise. For days, the humans worked within the alien ship, learning its rhythms, repairing failing systems, and expanding their connection with the alien Queen. Elias had grown adept at navigating the glowing lattice of her consciousness, while Mira coordinated the team's physical work, ensuring that every repair and adjustment strengthened the ship. But just as their confidence began to grow, the sensors picked up an anomaly in the distance. At first, it was faint, a tiny ripple of energy, but it grew rapidly, spreading across space like a dark shadow racing toward them. "Captain," Lieutenant Rao said, urgency in his voice. "Whatever this is, it's coming fast. Energy readings are unlike anything in our database. They're advanced, aggressive, and heading straight for the Queen." Mira's chest tightened. "Alert the crew. All stations to battle readiness. Dr. Elias, can we protect the ship while continuing repairs?" Elias floated amidst the glowing lattice, his mind merging briefly with the Queen's consciousness. "Yes," the Queen replied, her thoughts calm but firm. "I will guide your actions. You have learned to think as I do. Use that skill. Predict. Anticipate. Adapt. Together, we can withstand them." The humans quickly organized. The corridors shifted, creating defensive channels and protective zones. The ship itself responded to the approaching threat, subtly moving sections of its structure to block incoming paths. It was as if the vessel had a sixth sense, aware of the danger and working with its human partners to prepare. From the bridge, Mira watched the space outside. The approaching ships were unlike anything humans had encountered. Sleek, black silhouettes, pulsating with energy, they moved with lethal precision. The fleet belonged to an unknown species, a predator that sought the remnants of the Queen's civilization. "They're fast," Rao said, gripping his console. "Too fast for conventional weapons alone." "If they reach the ship, they won't," Mira said firmly. "Not if we use our minds as well as our weapons." Elias, still connected to the Queen, began coordinating defensive strategies. Using the integration, he could predict the attackers' movements before they even made them. "Their patterns are repeating," he told Mira. "Not completely, but enough. We can anticipate their strikes. Focus on blocking and redirecting them, not attacking directly." Mira nodded. "All stations. Follow Elias's guidance. Think one step ahead. Move as the ship moves. We fight as one with the Queen." The first wave of attackers arrived. Energy beams lanced through space, striking the ship's hull with thunderous impacts. The walls of the corridors trembled, lights flickered, and small cracks appeared in some of the outer sections. But the ship responded instantly. Sections of its living surface shifted, absorbing and redirecting energy. Hallways expanded, blocking critical paths, while the Queen's appendages extended subtle energy fields to deflect damage. Elias shouted instructions, his mind connected to the lattice. "Predict their trajectory. Shift the barriers. Use the lateral energy pulses." Human ingenuity and alien intelligence worked in tandem. The crew moved with a rhythm that only made sense when integrated with the Queen's consciousness. They were no longer just humans fighting for survival, they were a single entity, working in harmony with an ancient, intelligent being. The attackers adjusted, growing more aggressive. One ship managed to pierce a weak point in the outer hull. An alarm blared as energy seeped into a critical conduit. Mira's heart raced. "Elias! What now?" "Redirect the energy flow. Use the lattice to stabilize. Trust your instincts." Elias guided them through the mental connection. The humans adjusted controls, rerouted power, and manipulated energy fields. Slowly, the breach sealed itself, reinforced by the Queen's living systems. The attacker's advantage vanished as quickly as it had appeared. Mira realized something extraordinary. They can't match our adaptability. We're learning as fast as they attack. Yes, the Queen's voice echoed. Human intuition complements my logic. Alone, I would fail. Alone, you would fail. Together, we endure. Another wave of enemy ships approached, this time coordinating in patterns designed to outmaneuver the humans. But Elias's connection with the Queen allowed him to anticipate the movements almost before they happened. Their flank will move left, then loop back right. Prepare the barriers. Adjust energy deflection. The humans obeyed instinctively. Energy shields flared, corridors shifted, and the Queen's appendages responded instantly. One attacker collided with redirected energy, its ship spinning out of control before being pushed away by a pulse of alien power. Mira realized that their human courage, the willingness to act decisively in danger, was as important as the Queen's technology. It was a fusion of traits, each completing the other. As the battle raged, Elias discovered something new. Captain, the Queen's consciousness can predict minor patterns, but not creativity. That's where we come in. If we think unpredictably, we can guide her to victory. Mira's mind raced. Then we do the unexpected. Use our human intuition to break their patterns. The humans began improvising, moving sections of the ship in ways the Queen had not predicted, creating sudden shifts that confused the attackers. Energy pulses that seemed random to the enemy were, in fact, carefully guided by human logic. One by one, the attacking ships faltered, unable to adapt to the combination of alien foresight and human unpredictability. The Queen pulsed brightly, a visible sign of satisfaction. Yes, this is what I sensed. Humans, your courage is extraordinary. You are more than observers. You are partners in survival. Hours passed. The battle was intense, but the humans and the Queen had found a rhythm, a harmony of minds and action. Slowly, the attackers retreated, one by one, unable to breach the defenses or predict the combined strategies of human and alien intelligence. When the last enemy ship disappeared into the darkness of space, the chamber was silent. Only the soft, steady glow of the Queen and her ship remained. The crew floated, exhausted but triumphant. Elias exhaled heavily. We did it. We actually did it. The Queen, she's alive. The ship, it's stable. Mira smiled, though her body ached from hours of tension. And we survived. Together. That's what counts. Humanity, our creativity, courage, and adaptability made the difference. The Queen's voice filled their minds one final time. Calm and regal, you have proven yourselves. Not only in repair, but in battle. Humanity, you are capable of greatness. The future of my civilization is no longer only mine. You will carry my legacy, and through you, it will endure. Elias floated silently, absorbing the significance of her words. She's saying, we're part of her civilization now. Part of her history. That's incredible. Mira nodded. We're not just explorers anymore. We're partners, guardians, and perhaps even teachers. Humanity has risen to meet this challenge, and we've shown what we're capable of. As the crew repaired minor damages and restored the ship to full function, a new realization dawned on them. They were witnessing the potential of humanity not as individuals, not even as a species confined to Earth, but as a force capable of collaborating with the greatest intelligence in the galaxy. Their courage, their curiosity, and their creativity had saved not only themselves but an entire alien legacy. The Queen's final message lingered in their minds. You came inside, human. You adapted, learned, and endured. This is the true strength of your kind. Together, we will shape the future. For the first time, Mira felt a deep pride in humanity, not for conquest, wealth, or power, but for courage, intelligence, and the ability to rise to challenges that seemed impossible. And as the ship continued to pulse gently with life, guiding the humans through its corridors and systems, they knew one thing with certainty. The universe had changed. Humanity had risen not just as observers, but as partners capable of greatness among the stars. The battle was won, but the journey had only just begun. And somewhere deep within the Queen, hope and determination surged. Perhaps, for the first time in millennia, her civilization's knowledge would endure not through her alone, but through the courage and ingenuity of humans. The Queen pulsed one final time that day, her energy flowing through the ship like a heartbeat. The future awaits. Humans, step forward. Together, we are unstoppable. And with that, the humans floated in silent awe, ready for whatever challenges lay ahead. After the battle, the alien ship seemed almost peaceful. The glowing corridors pulsed softly, and the Queen's presence radiated calm and intelligence. Captain Mira Han floated in the central chamber, watching Dr. Elias Kwan interact with the lattice of light that contained the Queen's consciousness. It was a moment of quiet triumph, but both knew the work was far from over. "Elias," Mira said, "the immediate danger is gone, but the ship is still damaged. And the Queen, she's still dependent on our help." Elias nodded, focused. "I know, Captain. But after the last battle, I think we understand her better. I can feel her guiding my thoughts more clearly now. Our minds are working together almost seamlessly." "Yes, humans." The Queen's voice resonated in their minds, calm and strong. "You have proven yourselves worthy. My systems stabilize. My knowledge flows again. But there is more to be done." 23. Mira floated closer to the glowing patterns. "What do you need from us?" "To preserve my civilization. To share knowledge. To prepare you to carry it into the universe." For the first time, the humans fully understood the magnitude of the task. The Queen's civilization had existed for millions of years. Her knowledge encompassed medicine, technology, art, philosophy, and ways of understanding the universe that humans could only imagine. And now, this legacy would pass partially into human hands. Elias reached out, letting his mind merge even more deeply with the Queen's consciousness. Images, patterns, and ideas flooded his thoughts. He saw star systems, structures that floated in clouds of gas, energy sources beyond human science, and concepts of life far different from anything on Earth. Slowly, he began translating them into forms humans could understand and apply. Mira watched him, amazed. "It's incredible. We're learning so much. Faster than we ever could alone." "Yes," the Queen said. "But understanding is only the first step. You must also apply this knowledge. Only then will it endure." Over the next several days, the humans worked tirelessly. Elias and the science team deciphered alien energy patterns, discovering how to create sustainable power sources that could be used on Earth. Engineers adapted alien technology to human machines, improving propulsion, communication, and medicine. Artists and linguists began exploring the Queen's cultural knowledge, marveling at music and language far beyond anything humanity had created. Mira coordinated all efforts, ensuring that while humans explored alien knowledge, they respected the ship and the Queen. "We are learning from her, but we are not taking over," she reminded the crew. "We are partners, not conquerors." The Queen responded with pulses of light that filled the ship with warmth. "You understand well, Captain. Humans, your compassion, curiosity, and respect make you remarkable. You will carry my legacy with honor." One day, while exploring a vast chamber filled with floating structures, Elias discovered a hidden archive data that even the Queen had not revealed initially. He felt a thrill of discovery. "Captain, this is extraordinary. These are designs for advanced technologies, medical devices, and even star mapping systems that could change everything for humanity." Mira floated beside him, her eyes wide. "We need to bring this knowledge home carefully. The universe is not always kind to those who hold too much power too quickly." "Do not fear, human," the Queen said. I have prepared these archives for you. You are ready to receive them. But you must use them wisely, as stewards, not rulers. The humans worked together, carefully integrating the alien archives with their own technology. Every step was tested, every adjustment checked. The Queen guided them, teaching not only the technical details, but also the philosophy behind her civilization's choices, how intelligence, empathy, and creativity were intertwined. As the work progressed, the humans began to notice changes within themselves. They thought more creatively, solved problems faster, and collaborated with a harmony they had never experienced before. Mira realized that the Queen's integration was doing more than restoring her ship. It was expanding human potential. "Captain," the Queen said one day, "you are no longer the same as when you first entered my vessel. You think in new ways. You see possibilities your species has not yet explored. This is my gift to you." Mira nodded thoughtfully. "And it's a gift we must honor. We have to use it to improve humanity, to protect, to explore, and to learn." Weeks passed, and the humans fully restored the Queen's ship. The glowing corridors no longer flickered with unstable energy. Instead, they radiated steady, harmonious light. The lattice of consciousness was strong, alive, and flowing smoothly. The Queen herself pulsed with renewed energy, her presence filling the ship with an aura of intelligence and wisdom. It was time to leave Jupiter's orbit. The humans had completed their mission, but they would not return empty-handed. The Queen had entrusted them with archives, designs, and insights that could transform humanity. "You have done well, humans," the Queen said. "You have learned, you have endured, and you have risen to meet a challenge that would have defeated most species. Now, it is your turn to carry my legacy into the stars." The crew prepared the ship for departure, guiding the Queen's vessel alongside the human fleet. As they left the shadow of Jupiter, Mira looked out at the endless expanse of space. Humanity's place among the stars felt larger, more important than ever before. "Captain," Elias said quietly, "we have the knowledge, the technology, and we have seen what humans are capable of when we work together, courageously and creatively. This is the start of something extraordinary." Mira smiled. "Yes, and it's only the beginning. The universe is vast, but we now know that humans can rise to challenges far beyond what we imagined. We are not just passengers anymore. We are partners in shaping the future." The Queen's presence pulsed gently, as if nodding in agreement. "Yes, humans, you have proven yourselves. You are worthy of the universe. Take my knowledge, my legacy, and build a future worthy of both our species. And remember, courage, creativity, and compassion will always guide you." As the human fleet and the Queen's ship moved through space, the crew reflected on what they had accomplished. They had faced fear, uncertainty, and threats far beyond Earth's reach. They had trusted their instincts, worked together, and learned to think in ways they had never imagined. Humanity had risen not through weapons, not through conquest, but through ingenuity, courage, and collaboration with an intelligence far older and wiser than themselves. And somewhere deep within the Queen, hope burned brightly. After millennia of solitude, she had found companions who could understand, protect, and honor her civilization. Her knowledge, her legacy, and her dreams would continue not alone, but through humanity. Mira turned to her crew, her voice steady and full of pride. "We did more than save a civilization. We've learned what humans are truly capable of. And now, we carry that knowledge home to Earth and beyond." The crew nodded, feeling the weight and the promise of their task. They had become more than explorers. They had become stewards of wisdom, carriers of hope, and pioneers of a new era. "Please come inside, human," the Queen's words echoed once more, not as a request, but as a declaration of partnership. "You have come. You have learned. You have risen. And humanity, for the first time, truly understood what it meant to rise, not through dominance, but through courage, creativity, and the willingness to reach out and connect with intelligence greater than their own. The stars stretched endlessly before them, full of opportunity, mystery, and wonder. And among them, humans now shone brighter than ever, ready to explore, to learn, and to create a future worthy of the universe itself. For in that moment, humanity had ascended,